Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video series that's going to be taking place on this channel. This is basically going to be a journey with me into a new hobby that I'm very excited to get into. What is this new hobby, you may ask? That was very cheesy, but we're gonna go with it anyways. This is the SCA, otherwise known as the Society of Creative Anachronism. Did I say that correctly? I probably didn't. Hey Google.
Anachronism.
Society of Creative
Anachronism.
Let's get into this. What is the SCA? So the SCA is a international nonprofit volunteer educational organization. That's a mouthful. It's devoted to research and the recreation of pre-17th century, so 1600s and past, way back. So it focuses on skills, arts, combat, culture, and knowledge of history. It's participating in events and demonstrations and a lot of educational presentations about what life was like pre-1600s. You dress in the right time period of that, anywhere between 1600s and the past. The nice thing that SCA does is it takes all the good qualities of like the Middle Ages, so the art and the culture to an extent, and recreates them in the modern world. So it's taking pieces and changing it to fit a growing world. So it even goes into more in dressing in SCA garb, which I, for one, am very excited to do. With discussing what the SCA is, what was my draw to it? Why did I want to become involved in the SCA? Ever since I was like real tiny, real young, I've always been fascinated with the past. I've always wanted to know what life was like, and I would dive in to historical fiction and historical nonfiction and just read for hours. But again, it focuses on all of the bad, and I never felt like I got a true sense of what people actually did in the Middle Ages before. And then even those books would always just focus on like Central European, so like not even Central, just European, so like Europe, Norse, and a little bit of Spanish. So I never really felt like I got that full visual. But with this, there's people that do stuff from everywhere. There's people that do stuff all the way down to Italy, I've heard of people that do like Arabian and some Japanese styles. So I'm very interested to see on what everything is and all of the history that's going to be seen and recreated at the events. I'm excited to know the real people, not the dates and the famous figures you'll learn about in a history class. I decided to take an AP history course, and it destroyed my love for history, because that is you are taking this class to pass a test. We don't care if you retain any information. You're gonna take this test and pass it, and that's all we care about. So with my love for history just going right down the drain, I really hadn't picked another book up. I hadn't done any of my own research into history. I hadn't really gone near it, because I was just like, if that's all this is that people talk about in history is just the famous people and the dates. Like, what happened? Like, why were these people murdered? Why did these politicians, like, destroy this? Why were people raided? Why did we go to war? Like, it's always the bad, and I've always wanted to be like, so what did the regular person do? And how did they live? Because it couldn't all be bad. Like, there's bad things that happen today, but it's not all bad. I don't have any interest to learn anything anymore if that's all people are going to teach me. So when I got introduced to this by my friend, oh, you should see my browser history. I have so much just, what did people do for this? Oh, how was this textile used? Okay, so if this textile was used for this, what garments were made and how did that get there and how did people create this? Oh, cool, they did this to make lace. I want to do that. Okay, instruments. Okay, so how did people do that? Where was I have been diving deep into how things were done and how things were getting there. So I'm finally getting to the place where I can love history again and love just finding the people in it. Because history is more than just dates and names. It's actual physical people that were there. And I want to experience life the way they did. That's my big thing, is I've always wanted to step in to the shoes of history. What should you expect from the SCA or in the SCA? Okay, I gotta start this off with, I can't give you the full picture because I have only been involved for less than a month. I can tell you what I have been told, and I will just respell it out for you. So, I got introduced to the SCA from a friend I met cosplaying. So, she talked about how she had a historical persona that was based in Spain. And I was shown pictures of her her outfits she's made are beautiful, and you will meet her one day. I'm bringing her on here because she needs to talk about this. And she would talk about these events that were held throughout the year, and it'd be like taking a step back in time. One of the type of events is a war. You are going to war. Get ready, we're going to war. But basically you set up a tent, you dress in period clothes for the whole time, and you go to a market type of situation where people sell fabrics and different forged items and just a lot of different period pieces that you can add to your collection and add to your garb and your tents to make it more realistic, historical, everything along those lines. And then you can go watch a war happen. Yes, people in full historical armor and swords and just beat the crap out of each other. So having her show me all of that gives me this big idea on what to expect. And I know I'm not gonna get exactly what I'm seeing in the photos my first time, because I have to prep for that. And it's not gonna be perfect the first go around. So that's what this is for. This is going to be me learning and helping you learn how to go about actually getting into it, because if I didn't have my friend pushing me, who's been involved with it for a long time, I can't remember how long they've been in the SCA, but if I didn't have her looking out for me, pushing me to be like, Bailey, you've told me how much you love about this, let's get you in, I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know who to contact. I wouldn't even know where to begin, especially on my own. So having somebody there to help you get through the first push of SCA is what I'm here to do, because I'm very excited, and if you're as excited about something like history that I am, I want to be that person to help you get through that first push to actually get the confidence to go. So I hope y'all will join me on this journey. I'm really excited, and we're gonna make history this year. And my friend will be very happy finally sitting down and making this video. Anyways,